list propose karenge. It would be a list of, let's say, 10 topics. It will be proposed by the commission itself. And out of that topic, he has to select one. तो 2 इलेक्टिव हर साल में बच्चे को फर्स्ट ईयर में, सेकेंड ईयर में, थर्ड ईयर में करने ही करने हैं. These are the mandatory provisions, and they will be reflected. The grading of elective would be reflecting in the university mark sheet also. So if anybody has not gone through elective, has not completed his elective, he will not be allowed to appear in the summative examination of the university. So this is very clear, and it is very important aspect also. Although all these exercises would be online, there were many questions whether the college himself has to conduct the elective or the commission would conduct. Now it has been taken up by the commission that commission would conduct it as an online activity. We will provide the course content, we will provide the speakers, student has to enroll in our website for the elective. There would be certain hours of lectures by the experts, and then soon after the lecture there would be assessment. And according to the level of assessment, there would be grading. And every student has to score minimum C grade. There would be A, B, C, D, E, 5 grading. Every student has to score minimum C grade for being able to register for the final university examination. I hope this part is clear, but still if there is any doubt about the operation of electives, we can discuss in the afternoon session. Then we have introduced certain new subject also. As you all are aware about the department that has been changed, we have added fundamental of psychology in the first BHMS. Earlier in our regulation we proposed it as a separate subject, but later on the comments came that it should be the part of organon only. So now we have merged it with the organon, but there would be a paper for this particular stream. There would be 50-mark paper for the fundamental of psychology. Then there is essential of modern pharmacology. There had been many accolades from the different streams, and there had been equally criticism about the application, about the inclusion of modern pharmacology in BHMS curriculum. This is modern essentials of modern pharmacology is being included in our curriculum, and the purpose is very clear. We are not proposing this course content for the purpose of practicing allopathy, not at all. Because if you study our regulation and then on the other side, on the parallel side, if you go through the regulation of ethics board, you will find that it has been very clearly mentioned in the regulation itself while talking about the ethics, no cross-pathy is allowed. So the purpose is very simple, that we just want our student to get the knowledge, because we are receiving patients from every sphere, and we all are aware that most of the time patient is coming to us when, let's say, he is coming from asthma, but he is coming to us for the treatment of asthma or for the rheumatoid arthritis with a history of long intake of steroids, of many NSAIDs and variety of drugs they have been using since long. And many times we are not able to make out whether this is the disease portrait or a drug portrait. So in order to understand the symptoms of the drugs that he has been consuming for the long period of time, we have introduced this subject in the BHMS curriculum. The purpose is very clear, just to make aware, just to make inform student about the pharmacokinetics of various drugs that a patient is regularly using in his healthy life. That is the only purpose. And besides that, our students are many times suffering and depriving from various posts, like they are having community health officer services posts, community health worker posts, where our students are not able to enroll because of the non-inclusion of these knowledges. So that is also one of the reasons why we have included this. But this, not at all, our regulation never says that anybody after studying these essentials of pharmacology would be in a position, would be allowed to practice allopathy. It's a big no. It's very clear. And then another important subject, as Sir told, that research is an essential part of our system. And very less focus and attention was given to the research in homeopathy. Either it used to be the part of PC education, or you go for the PhD, then only some research implication used to take place. But we might know none of the science can survive unless it is based on research. And research is a continuation, evolutionary process. It doesn't come in one day. So our effort is to imbibe the seeds of research, to prepare the graduates who are having that insight and aptitude to conduct research in future. And that is the reason why we have included research methodology and biostatistics in our BHMS curriculum also. Earlier we proposed it as a separate department, but we received many suggestions that since the syllabus is very brief, we are just proposing a 50-hour study. Of course, in PG and PhD courses, they are having the advanced knowledge about the research. But in BHMS curriculum, since we are proposing a brief introductory profile, so that at least they can develop aptitude. And that is the reason why now this department is clubbed with community medicine. So community medicine we have stressed a bit more. Hours are also increased, and there would not be a separate department for research methodology, but that will be a part of community medicine. But again, there would be a separate paper. In final year, there would be a separate paper for this particular aspect. So these are the major changes that are being taken place. Another big, yes sir. Take back. It's moving itself automatically. नहीं, ये तो इससे connected ही नहीं. Rupali, hold on the screen where I am talking. ये आगे चला गया था. और पीछे. I am just on the second screen. ये और पीछे नहीं जा रहा है. उधर से नहीं जाएगा. Here. Now another important change is duration. As we all know that our earlier syllabus was, earlier pattern of division of PHMS was 12 month, and 18 month. But now we have reversed it. You all are well aware that now the first year would be of 18 months, second year for 12 months, third year for 12 months, final year for 12 months, and then 1 year compulsory rotatory internship. That is the scheme that we have included, and we have now included sufficient hours, sufficient syllabus for Medica, for Organon, and we are introducing repertory also in the first PSMS. The reason is very clear that we want our homeopathic subjects to be introduced in the very beginning. All the intricacies, all the salient features of our subject should be very well versed with the students even in the first PHMS. So these are the major changes. And then another important feature is, because as I told you, it is an evolutionary process. We have to go along with, we have to go together, and we have to advance also. And that is the one reason why there is a description about SMART. SMART is a committee that HEB will form in consultation with the commission itself, which will be indulged on regular evolution of syllabus. It's not that once we prepare the curriculum, once we design the curriculum and our work is done, it's not like that. It is a regular evolutionary process, and the design of committee is made in such a way, there is one core committee where beside other senior faculty teachers, there would be experts from some other streams also. Same way, we have subject expert committees also. There also, not only we have the subject expert, but we have some other technical experts also. And the purpose is that we have to advance, we have to consume and accept all the advancement, technical advancement that are going to take place in our other systems, in our neighboring area, in our education system, in our national education policy, in our health policy, whatever changes are being taking place, our committee would observe. They will meet and they will eventually propose to the board for the application. So it is a very important change, and we don't have to stay on the curriculum that is being designed just now. We have to evolve and we have to make further changes also. This I already spoke. I will not repeat the things. Next slide, please. But I have to do it myself. Emphasis on clinical training. I already spoke about that. Electives, I already about. Then another important feature is internal assessment. Earlier, it was not the part of our examination, but now it is a mandatory part for every BHMS examination. There would be periodic test and there would be term test also. 6-month term test and 3 monthly periodic test. That will be the essential part of every BHMS examination. And unless a student is qualifying internal assessment, he will not be allowed to appear in final examination. Like elective, he has to clear all the internal assessment, and the passing criteria is minimum 50% marks. So unless he is not able to achieve 50% mark in internal assessment, he will again be not allowed to appear in the university examination. In fact, we have prepared a format for the mark sheet also, which we have shared with the university people also. That mark sheet will have a clear reflection about the grade of electives, and about the scoring a student has done in the internal assessment. Although the weight of internal assessment, we wanted to keep it 20 marks, but there were many reservations and comments that giving this much percentage of marks in the internal assessment may invite some ambiguities also, and that is the reason why we became a little moderated, and now the weight of internal assessment is 10 marks, and that will be in the manner of oral, viva examination. Oral examination, viva examination you can conduct in various ways. If you go through all the outlines of the regulation, you will find that we have defined many ways in which you can assess your student. It is not just the oral examination or viva examination, it can be even a project presentation. If you are satisfied that a student is good enough in presenting a particular given project, you can assess that student for the internal assessment. So there are many ways that we have listed in the regulation itself, which will be very helpful in assessing the student on internal level. But it is very essential part, and every student has to qualify all the internal assessment in order to be qualified for the final BHMS examination. Minimum marks required, 50% is the passing criteria for qualifying for the next BHMS. Examination pattern we have very well defined in curriculum also, but the theory examination shall have 10% mark for MCQs, 40% mark for SAQs, short answer questions, and 50% marks for long explanatory questions. This is the examination scheme. We have shared with the university also, and we expect that from the coming session, this scheme will be implemented in all the colleges and university. Attendance is a very important part, and we are making sure that 75% is the minimum attendance a student need to have for appearing in the examination. And for that, I know this is a very tricky situation, and it is very difficult to bring a student in the classes regularly, but we are preparing such kind of mechanism. After my presentation, there will be an online presentation by BISEC team, which is institute located in the Gujarat, and this team is given assignment by the Government of India, Ministry of Ayush, for developing a portal which is known as Education Life Cycle Management Portal. And from there, the student, the moment they enter in any institute after qualifying NEET or through counseling, the moment they enter in the institute, they will be enrolled in that particular portal, and their entire life cycle in the institute would be governed by that particular portal. So it would be very difficult for a student now to take this facility of non-attending the classes. If they are not attending the classes, they will not be allowed to appear in the examination, and eventually this entire activity would be somewhere governed by the commission also. It is not only the institute which is monitoring the student attendance of a student, it would be the commission also which will be able to see at any moment of given time that how many students are available in a particular college of Maharashtra in the given time and in a given lecture. We will be able to see through a master dashboard that system is so foolproof and competent. There would be a short demo of that system also, because eventually you guys have to implement the system also. So everything would be monitored online. So we don't want that our students simply remain enrolled for the namesake in the register and they don't come in the classes. No, they have to present in the classes also. Conduct of examination, there will be a regular examination and a supplementary examination, and the difference and the gap between the one examination to supplementary examination we have reduced to 3 months now. And rest of the things, I think you all can go through the regulation itself. Everything is very clear. But again, if you have any kind of doubt about the conduct of examination, about the chances, about the attempts, you can certainly we can have discussion in the afternoon session also. Assessment would be in the form of formative and summative. So students shall be assessed periodically to assess his performance in the class, determine the understanding of Bachelor of Homeopathic Medicine Surgery course material and its learning outcome. This will be a continuous phenomenon. If you go through the draft of CBDC, which I will share very soon with all the colleges, and you will realize the draft itself is prepared in such a way that assessment would be a regular phenomenon. Once you complete any particular exercise, any particular topic, any given heading of a subject, automatically there would be an assessment. So assessment would definitely be a regular part now. It will not be a one-time activity in the year. It will be a regular phenomenon. Once you enroll yourself or once you start teaching through CBDC pattern. That is the beauty of CBDC. The important thing is that what you have taught yesterday, how much your student has grasped. That we really need to know. So that would be a continuous phenomenon. Periodical assessment shall be carried out in practical and at the end of teaching of a topic or a module on a particular portion of syllabus. And this is the scheme which we have shared in the regulation also. For the first PHMS, since it is the 1.5 year course, we have 2 terms and 3 periodical tests. And for rest of the PHMS, we have 1 term test and 2 periodical assessment. And all these would be essential for every student clear in order to become eligible for going to the final PHMS examination. These are the summative assessment, and I don't need to go in the detail. You all might have gone through the regulation also. This will be conducted by the university, but there will be a double evaluation system also, and depending on the number of students are present in the practical examination, accordingly you have to decide how many internal examiner you need to have, how many external examiner you need to have. That is all made clear in the regulation itself. And these are the number of lectures or the teaching hours which are given in this syllabus. As you all can see that in the first year, lecture hours are 1071 and non-lectures are 975. In second PHMS, lectures hours are 942 and non-lectures are 462. In third PHMS, 895 and 509, and fourth PHMS, 731 and 670. So that is the pattern how the theoretical lectures and practical lectures on the non-lectures hours will be going on. In first year, there is 60 hours of foundation course also, and that assumes, and that sums to 2046 hours in total. Migration of student during the study, migration can be permitted, but there are certain guidelines which are very clearly mentioned in the regulation itself, and following to those guidelines, the student can be migrated from one college to another college or from one university to another college, depending on the situation, conditions they are posing and the requirement they are fulfilling. So that is made clear in the regulation also. And then a very important program is compulsory rotatory internship training. This we have elaborated highly, and we have introduced an introductory program and a finishing program. And in introductory program, you have to orient the student about the internship, about the job aspect, about the future perspective. There are many things. If you go to the draft exclusively and exhaustively, you will find there are many changes which are directed. The purpose is that the student who is enrolling for the internship should be well aware about the future perspective, what he can do when he go in the field, what are the other options. Everything is very clearly defined. And internship is also made modular now. And there would be 2 options. The one option is that the entire internship is being done in the college itself, in the collegiate hospital itself. The another option is that he can choose to stay for 2 months in a community health center, in the primary health center, in any research unit of CCRS, or in any NABH accredited medical hospital. So these 2 options are available, and it is up to institute, not for the student to decide which option he is choosing. We have made it very clear. It will be the responsibility of the principal or the medical superintendent to adopt which option is amicable for a particular student. That has to be decided and discerned by the teacher or the administrator or the superintendent of the hospital itself. And then internship would also be evaluated in a proper way. There would be research project also, and that is one major reason why we have introduced research methodology in the BHMS final year curriculum, because the student should be well aware about the research protocols, about the different modalities of the research, so that he is able to accomplish his research project during internship in a very comprehensive manner. Otherwise, nowadays I see that the internship projects are just mere namesake projects are there. No one is deeply involved, but we really want that the internship project should be done seriously. It should be followed by the procedures, and students should be well about the all research modalities. So internship would be evaluated, it will be scored also, it will be graded also, and according to the grade, student will be able to obtain certificate from the medical superintendent or from the principal, whoever is the administrator of hospital. So that is very clearly made. Now there are some common questions which are available, or which are of course popping up in everyone's mind, that when it will be applicable. So as I told you very clearly that this become effective from the day it is notified. So there is no confusion about this. This is effective, and the moment you are going to start session in your college, you have to adopt this new pattern of PHMS of 18 months. According to you have to retain your faculties, according to you have to develop your departments, and according to you have to teach in the colleges also. And as far as the curriculum is concerned, as I already told you, the Commission is in process of organizing zone-wise seminars although I know time is limited and we have to make it implemented, but we are trying our level best that we organize all 4 zones workshops within a 1 month time. First week is directed for the Western zone where Gujarat, Maharashtra and Goa is included. Next week we are going to organize in all the colleges of South, probably in Bangalore or in Hyderabad. Then we are going to the East and then we come to the North. So this way we are trying to finish all CBDC workshop within 1 month's time, so that at least one teacher of each college, of each particular subject, would be in a position to take up the CBDC pattern and to sensitize and to start teaching in that way. That is the main aim of our college. And another important feature that I will talk in the MSR also, where we have told that every medical institution has to set up a medical education technology unit in the college. This is a mandatory provision. And the reason is because since we are evolving and many technical advancements are taking place in the education, and we have to remain in consonance with the NEP also and with the other system also. So it is very essential to have medical education technology department where the teachers need to have some orientation about the MAT workshop, which also commission would conduct regularly. We will provide certificate also so that you can use those teachers, those particular department for the further dissemination, because it is not possible for commission to call every teacher of college and to start organizing workshop. No. We will train some of your teachers about the education technology also, about the CBDC also. But now this is the responsibility of principal, of the director of the college to further disseminate that knowledge to every individual department. That is the main role of medical education technology department in the college itself. Now coming to another regulation, that is MSR, which you ordinarily used to say is now converted. It will be now popularly known as MES. It is Minimum Essential Standards. This regulation is also in the verge of notification. It has been kept on the public domain in the September itself, and we received, as I told you, thousands of comments, good, bad, all, everything was there. We analyzed those comments and then we put in the commission meeting also. From there also I am happy to inform that from there also it has been approved now, and now it will go to the ministry for the legal meeting, and soon after legal meeting it will be gazetted. So more or less the whatever features that I will display in the MES itself, you can assume that they are implemented now, because it has already obtained the commission approval and just we are waiting for the legal competencies, and once it is legally approved by the law ministry, it will be gazetted on the Indian Gazette also. And these are the major changes about the department. I already told you now instead of 12, there will be 13 departments. One more department for the yoga, because this is one basic Indian science which we need to promote also, and which is very good for the holistic development of entire system of health. So we have incorporated yoga for health promotion, and some hours of yoga are divided in all the BHMS. In all 4 BHMS, there are certain hours of yoga teaching, yoga practices, which are the part of their curriculum also. And this department, earlier we thought of putting in the college itself, but now we have relaxed that this yoga department can be located either in the college or in the hospital as per the convenience of the operating body. For that we don't have any reservation. Regarding the land, because existing colleges, of course we are not making any change, because whatever the infrastructure they are prevailing right now, they can continue with that. Although we want that even the existing college should come up with the higher changes, with the positive changes that Commission has defined in MES. But still, they may take their time also, and I know it is not possible to make the overnight changes, especially in terms of infrastructure and land. But for the new coming colleges, it has been made mandatory that if a college is located in the urban area, there has to be 2.5 acre land. My colleague Dr. Jatkar will give more explanation about this part when he will talk about the new establishment of colleges. But in the rural area, it has to be 3.5 acre, and in the urban area, it has to be 2.5 acre. And hospital building, we prefer that it should be located in the same premises. But if by any reason it is not possible to have the hospital building in the same premises, then up to 5 kilometers, they can establish hospital also. And it is always good that there should be an interconnection. We prefer that at least hospital should be in the same compound, either as a separate building or as an interconnected building. And the land should be clearly demarcated for the purpose of homeopathic education only. We received this practical problem while conducting inspection many times, that one piece of land is demarcated for homeopathy also, for Ayurveda also, and we have got many such cases where it has been found that the same land is allotted for BAMS also, and the same land is allotted for BHMS also. And since both commissions are working parallelly, we are just up and down, and many times we have seen that these kind of disparities are available in many of the colleges. So it is very clear now the college has to be exclusively demarcated through the resolution for the homeopathic college only. It is very clear now. Intake capacity is you can apply for up to 100. Up to 100. We have left the provision of 60 intake capacity. These standards are designed for any institution which is going to impart education, minimum for 100 seats. This is the intake capacity. Commission has a power to call information. I don't need to go that in very much delay. And if any way these standards are not followed, or if there is any way of observance of failure to imply these regulations, as you all know that MARB is regularly conducting inspections and assessing the Part 1 data obtained from the colleges on the basis of then existing MSR, but now every institute, whether it is new or old, would be assessed on the basis of these new regulation also only, and not also, I use the term also, it's not also, it's only on the basis of these MES 2022, and any student which failed to comply these regulation would be penalized as per the section 28F of MARBH of the NCH Act, and the penalty can be in any form. It can be the denial of permission, it can be the subtraction of seats, or it can be the financial penalty also, as and when it is being decided by commission from time to time, that will be conveyed. But any failure to comply these regulations would result into penalty for the clause, so for the college. So this is something very clear. Then there are 3 schedules in this MES: Schedule 1, Schedule 2, Schedule 3. Schedule 1 talk about some mandatory requirements, which is biometric attendance, which is now made essential for every individual college. The attendance will be accepted only when it is registered on a biometric attendance, and the Commission is in process of installing iris-based attendance system very soon. We have already contracted to the vendors, and they have started working also, and soon there would be a centralized iris-based attendance system installed in all the colleges, and the team from center would go to all the colleges, they will visit, they will guide, they will make the learning session also, and this would be implemented very soon. But till then, whatever the biometric pattern is applicable has to be followed correctly, and the attendance will be counted only through biometric attendance system. There would be closed circuit TV. We have already updated in a different part of MES where and how it has to be installed. We have already clearly mentioned. Teaching rooms should be well equipped with internet facility also, and we have also made provisions of installation of a smart board in a phased manner. We don't say that in the very first year you have all 5 smart boards. It can be upgraded in the phased manner, at least 2 smart boards per annum. Website, there are many changes which are given in the website also. You just go in that particular section and you will realize that most of the information has to be kept on the website, even the record of OPD, lecture record, everything has to be very clearly put on the website. There should be a very exclusive dashboard for every individual college, and the intent is that Commission is able to view, because it is not many times feasible to send inspection team physically to every part of India. We don't have that much big force with us. So we are in a process to evolving a scheme where we don't need to go for inspection. Commission का जो ultimate intent है, जो सर ने भी अभी अपने lecture में कहा था, हमारा ultimate intent ये है कि हम ये इंस्पेक्टर राज ही खत्म करना चाहते हैं. हम नहीं चाहते कि कोई भी इंस्पेक्टर कॉलेज में जाए और रिकॉर्ड आपसे मांगे. हम चाहते हैं कि आप अपना रिकॉर्ड अपने आप अपने सिस्टम पे अपलोड करें, और वो इतना ट्रांसपेरेंट हो कि हमारा यहाँ पे सर्वर में बैठा हुआ जो हमारे टेक्नीशियन है, जो हमारी टीम है, उसको असेस कर पाए, उसको अंडरस्टैंड कर पाए, और उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आपको न सिर्फ परमिशन मिले बल्कि आपको ग्रेडिंग भी मिले. क्योंकि एक जो हमारा एक बहुत बड़ा मैंडेट कमीशन का है, असेसमेंट एंड ग्रेडिंग क्राइटेरिया, उसका पर्पज ही यही है कि जो असेसमेंट हो वो सारा ऑनलाइन हो, और उसी के अकॉर्डिंगली आपकी जो क्वालिटीज हैं इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में, आपके एकेडमिक्स में, आपके हॉस्पिटल साइड में जो आपकी क्वालिटीज है, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली इंस्टीट्यूट्स को जैसे नैक रेटिंग करता है, जैसे एनएबीएस क्रेडेंशियल देते हैं, वैसे ही हमारा कमीशन भी रेटिंग देगा. एंड दिस विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल, बिकॉज आजकल के जो बच्चे हैं वो बहुत अवेयर हैं, और जब भी वो कहीं एडमिशन लेने जाते हैं ना, सबसे पहले देखते हैं यूनिवर्सिटी की रैंकिंग क्या है. So definitely any institute which is maintaining high ranking would always be benefited in terms of admissions also, and in terms of raising their fee also. That will also be the part of that ranking. So that is why we want a system which is so much transparent that there is no physical inspection needed. Everything is well maintained at institution level in such a transparent way that any moment of time we are able to assess what is the OPD in a particular time, in a particular year, in a particular day, how much patients are being actually seen. These all systems are going to take place in very soon. My colleague Dr. Dharmendra Sharma will also talk about the learning management system, how it will be effective and how these all transparencies can be actually practiced and seen. Then we have introduced small group teaching facilities because we don't want that a class of 100 is taught by one single teacher. There will be some division of the students, maximum 30 students in one small classroom, sit for one particular topic, have an interaction. The only aim is that whatever you are teaching should be equally grasped by the students. Biomedical waste management system has to be implemented. Department-wise requirements are already listed in Schedule 1 that you can see in the schedule itself. In new college, certainly we have made many changes. Earlier, for the establishment of a new college, there was requirement at side of college. हमको करीब 1775 स्क्वायर मीटर का हमको एरिया चाहिए था, लेकिन अभी जो नए रेगुलेशन बने हैं उसके अकॉर्डिंगली हर कॉलेज जो नया एस्टैब्लिश होना चाहता है उनको 2940 स्क्वायर मीटर एरिया, 2940 स्क्वायर मीटर एरिया is essential for any institute which is coming for the new establishment. Besides that, any existing institute which is running with the 60 capacity or 50 capacity, if they want to upgrade to the 100 seats, it is very clear now that they have to follow the new regulation. There would be no any leverage. Whenever you are willing to increase your intake from 60 to 100, if you want to go, existing colleges also, you have to follow the new regulation, the new infrastructure norms, new building norms, and new departmental norms that you have to follow. Then in existing colleges, you have to make 3 changes in your existing infrastructure also, because as I told you, research methodology is now clubbed with community medicine. So we have increased the area of community medicine. Now it would be 100 square meter. And since we have established 2 new units, there is one medical education technology unit for which it is essential for existing institute also to have a 40 square meter area. And yoga is also introduced, and for that also we require 40 square meter area in the existing institution. So these are the 3 changes that we have made essential for the existing medical institution also. Regarding staff, of course, there are some changes that we have made department-wise, which have been conveyed in the MSR also. And there are few things which have earlier also I announced when talking in the WSD, that there were many queries that if you have the higher faculty and you don't have the lower faculty, so would it count in the eligibility? So now it is made it very clear that if a higher cadre faculty is available in any particular department, and if there is scarcity of lower cadre department, it would be entertained. This is made very clear, and that will be acceptable now. And we have seen, especially in government institutions, we many times see that the teachers are sent on the deputation. And the period of deputation sometimes becomes unlimited. It is said to be 6 months, but the teachers are not coming back for the 2 years. And eventually the academic suffers. So these kind of practices will have to be stopped. If any teacher is sent on the deputation, then for that particular period, a new teacher has to be appointed, whether it is on the contractual basis or on the regular basis. That is up to the college management. But that has to be supplemented by or for the period of deputation for which the teacher is sent to other department. So this we have clearly mentioned. And it is also made for the teaching of modern pharmacology and for the teachings of fundamental of psychology. We are not proposing the regular faculty because the teaching hours are very limited. Just 50 hours teaching you have to impart for assistance of modern pharmacology and 50 hours for the research methodology. For that, we are not proposing a regular teacher, rather we are giving an option that you can hire a visiting faculty from the nearby medical college, and the qualifications are also defined in the Schedule 3. And according to that qualification, you can hire a visiting faculty for teaching these 2 particular subjects. But there is one major change from now onwards. So once this MES is effective, there would be no guest faculty or visiting faculty in the college. Guest faculty are totally abolished. For the teaching of yoga in context to homeopathy, a yoga instruction shall be appointed on regular basis with qualification as specified in schedule. And this is the structure of teaching faculty in every individual department. I just spell out: Mathematica, 1 professor, 1 reader and 2 lecturers; Organon, 1 professor, 1 reader and 2 lecturers; Pharmacy, 1 professor, 1 reader and 1 lecturer; Homeopathic repertory, 1 professor, 1 reader and 2 lecturers; Anatomy, 1 professor, 1 lecturer and 2 lecturers. 1 professor, 1 reader and 2 lecturers. In physiology, 1 professor, 1 reader and 2 lecturers. In forensic medicine and toxicology, it can be either professor or reader and 1 lecturer. In community medicine and research methodology, 1 professor, 1 reader and 1 lecturer. In pathology, it can be 1 professor or 1 reader and 1 lecturer. And gynecology, 1 professor, reader and lecturer. Practice of medicine and essential of pharmacology, 1 professor, 1 reader and 2 lecturers. So in total, every college has to manage 40 faculty in their institute. This is the mandatory provision, and there is no provision for guest faculty or part-time teachers. And then we have introduced one more aspect in MES, that is the practicing consultant for modern medicine or homeopathy. The purpose is that in order to sensitize our student about the modern techniques, about what is ongoing in the other specialties of field, about to take the expertise. In many cities we have many senior homeopaths who are practicing for last 30-40 years and disseminating their knowledge to students, but they are not academically associated. So now the student colleges has a facility. They can avail the services of such experts once in a week, twice a week, depends on the acumen of, on the desire and acumen of every individual in medical institution. But we propose that at least 4 lectures from such practicing consultant of different stream should be there in every institute. The purpose is very clear, that we just want our student to have different set of mind, different set of knowledge, different set of experience, more exposure to be given to the student. And that can be done from the segment of allopathic consultant and from the segment of homeopathic consultant also. And what are the qualifications required? That we have mentioned in the regulation itself. And the very sensitive part for which we have made a very huge proposition, and we expect and we think and we also propose also that every institute should be given not only about the government institution, whatever the norms and the pay structure they are following, they can carry on following the same pattern. But for the private institutions, or the institutions which are attached to the private university or deemed to be university or central deemed to be university, they have to follow this salary pattern, which is also given in the institutes, in the regulation also. And of course, this is the minimum prescribed salary, and we are not restricting anyone for the higher than this. They can go to any extent, but important part. So this is the salary structure that is being proposed by the Commission. We are receiving many calls and many comments also, and we have analyzed also. And this is to be followed by the Commission, by the every institution, whenever they are giving jobs to their teachers. And we have clearly defined the this is 7 CPC to be implicated in every medical institution. And for medical officer also, because earlier it was told that you have prescribed salary for the teaching staff, but what is the provision for hospital staff? But hospital staff also, same pattern has to be followed according to the cadre of officer. But for RMO and for MO, at least medical officer should get 50,000 per month, and RMO, senior medical officer, at least 70,000 per month. So these are the structure which are proposed by the Commission, and it will be part of MES also. For any clarification regarding this, we can have discussion tomorrow. Otherwise, discussion अगर अभी शुरू हो जाएंगे तो endless हो जाएगा. Next slide. Then for the non-teaching also, we have made provisions. Those lab attendant, lab technician, librarian, assistant librarian, UDC, LDC. The minimum wages, salary of non-teaching staff of medical institution hospital shall not be less than minimum wages as prescribed by the respective state, central government for skilled and non-skilled manpower. This you have to follow in your institution. And another important part is for hospital, where you have to go for the NABH accreditation. And every institution, right from the notification of this regulation, every institution has to enroll for NABH to take the entry level certificate in the 1 year and to take the full accreditation within 2 years. This is mandatory for every teaching hospital. And we have defined the sizes of outpatient area. We have also given the provision of peripheral OPD also, although peripheral OPDs are not mandatory for every institution. But if they want to increase their central pool data, because the number of minimum required patients in OPD are being also increased. And we know it is a difficult task to achieve. So in order to support your central pool of patients in a hospital, we have created again this facility that you can send your doctor in the periphery from where you can, or you can send the community from where you can have the patient pool in your central OPD also. And that can be number of peripheral, can be 5, can be 10, in the range of 25 kilometers of your college. These are the distribution of indoor patient department, general medicine, pediatric. These you all know, you might have gone through in the regulation also. And the bed strength is also increased now. The minimum number of OPD required for a teaching institution having 60 intake capacity is 200, and for the 100 it is 300. Then this we have establishing in all the institutions, and this is mandatory for existing as well as the new institution to establish an emergency unit. And the purpose is that our students should be able to handle, to understand, to know about the critical care, to know about the emergencies, how they can deal if something is happening right in their neighborhood. And being a doctor, if they are being abused socially, and if they are not able to give the CPR, if they are not able to give the, not able to do the suturing, they will not count it as doctor. So that is the reason why that skill lab और emergency unit ये दो हमने हर कॉलेज के लिए मैंडेटरी किया है, चाहे वो नया हो चाहे पुराना हो, ये आपको रखना ही रखना है, skill lab and emergency unit. And what are the criteria of managing emergency unit? What are the requirement of having in the emergency unit? They are all elaborated in the regulation itself. And these are the common requirement for the hospital, central laboratories, clinical teaching room. Clinical teaching room has Clinical teaching room is another important part which is also added to the new as well as existing teaching institution. There should be a separate clinical teaching room in every hospital for the purpose of giving the bedside training, giving the roundup or the grand rounds, or for the purpose of making information or sharing information about a particular patient who is visiting in the OPD. You can take in the clinical teaching room, and there you can examine, you can give information about the patient, you can talk about the homeopathic aspect, you can talk about the practice of medicine aspect. So that part has to be covered in the hospital itself in the clinical teaching room. Requirement for OT and labor room, they are all defined clearly. And then in Schedule 2, we have the requirement about the, Schedule 3 is about the qualification of teaching staff. They are also very clearly and elaborately mentioned in Schedule 3. You may all go through in the Schedule 3 and see what are the required criteria. There is one important thing that I want to convey, that these regulations will be effective whenever these regulations are effective. The norms for the qualification of teachers will be effective only after the publication of regulation. Otherwise, whichever teacher is recruited in any particular department, till now or before the publication of this regulation, are regularized on their particular department. There will be no disparity anymore. Wherever they are right now, before the publication of this regulation, wherever they are right now, they will be accepted as such. But any new appointment that you are going to make has to be followed these Schedule 3 guidelines. This is very clear. Another question which comes is about the promotion. The rules of promotion also applies under the regulation on which you are appointed. It's not that the rules of promotion will be applied after the salient feature of these regulations. In which regulation, if you are appointed as per the regulation of 2002, the same rule of promotion will apply over you. For the existing teacher. For the new teachers, rules will be as per the new regulation. So this is very clear. There have been many confounding questions about this. Whatever the rules of promotions are there, whether you are appointed in 1983 or 2002 or 2013, the rules where you have been appointed will be applicable for you. This is very clear. So then qualification of hospital staff is also given in detail in the Schedule 3, and these are some of the major criteria which I really wanted to convey through the regulation, but the regulations are so large that I cannot discuss every specific point of resolution over here. But you make your point. You go through the regulation. You have gone through MSR also. You have gone through ME, graduate degree regulation also. You make your points, and whatever comes your mind, we will sit again in the tomorrow afternoon meeting. Raise your queries, and we will be able to answer as much our regulation and our act allows us to say. We will answer your queries according to that. So thank you very much for patient hearing, and we go towards the other two regulations.